Привет, как дела? Меня зовут Andres Salazar. This is the Art of Comics. I'm your host. Today we're going to talk about this beautiful book called Los Angeles. This is by, I'm going to pronounce him wrong. Sylvain Despretz. Sylvain. Sylvain is a French feller, and he is amazing. He did a lot of cool movies, and we're going to freaking chit-chat about him. I loved it, and that's what this is about. But do you know that the pieces behind me are my original artwork? Did you know that? And that you can see them on my website, andresalazarart.com. I also have a Patreon where I post 3 times a week new comics, art, stories, videos, all that kind of stuff. So all the creative juices goes in the Patreon. Website to buy the art and comics. This channel to talk about them. And then if you want to be a member, we have an exclusive elite cadre of people who are members of this channel. And they get bonuses. They get bonus special member only videos. Not like, but okay, not like that. And I will talk to them. I will communicate with them. They can even give me suggestions and say, you know what? Let's talk about your top 5 writers of the 2000s. And then I got to come up with something. So think about that. Okay, that all said, I got this at WonderCon last year. I think it was WonderCon last year. I got it at Stuarting's book. Stuarting. I love Stuarting. I love his bookstore. He's at the comic shops around here, or at the Comic Cons around here. Stuarting in Torrance is amazing. Very illustration, animation, European comics heavy. And the wonderful art books, things like that. And I bought it. It was $60. I paid full freaking price, which I don't usually do. But I got it, and I'm really excited. And so let's just show this. Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Okay, everybody, let's talk about Los Angeles, this book by Sylvain. And I will say, I got it. I mean, it just immediately caught my eye. The color palette, the design of this cover. I really dug it. And then when I opened it up and I saw some pieces that really had this kind of Mobius flavor to, oh, look, it's breaking. I really said, okay, I got to get it. It's like $60. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get it. What's nice about this book is, it's interesting, a little quote from Ridley Scott. Sylvain is a really accomplished artist who, in my experiences, was the only person I trusted to do my storyboards, and I would invent additional ideas as he drew. Now he's too busy, so I have to do them myself again. Merde. This is, what's fun about this book is it's part like illustration book, art book, but it's also part like how to storyboard and part like industry insider information. So I really dug that it was much more than just drawings, but like I read and I learned about like, his experiences going from Paris to New York and trying to be an artist and how he, went through, navigated that world and how he got gigs and what relationships he had. He did a lot of stuff with Ridley Scott, and, Ridley Scott was an artist. He, is very visual, and so he worked with Ridley Scott. He worked with a bunch of different people. We'll kind of go through this, but just right off the bat, I just love these images, and some of this stuff I know, is like a previs for movies. Some of it is just maybe illustration work. I don't know where it all comes. This is Gladiator. I just really dug it. I do kind of wish they had the dimensions, because it would be nice to know how big this was. Like, was it actually this size, which it could have been, or was it much bigger? I don't know. Character design, illustration work, all this stuff is super cool, man. I love this helmet too. That was a really fun part of the movie. Yeah, I love all this stuff. This really cool, like, bronze designs. Super cool. And then we got like kind of like comics like look to it, right? Film as language. He does talk about film and how you have to understand film, and he wants to make films himself, right? He studied film, he studied Hitchcock, he studied all these different people. And to be a good storyboard illustrator is you need to know what is cinema, what is film, the language, the lexicon of film. You need to know that to be able to be a storyboard artist. And so, and you know, he's done some films himself, and so that experience making films influences and informs his work. You know, this is a great image. And then here we get some actual storyboards. So really cool. Look at these little sequences. I think these are sequences from the arrival of Commodus. This is in the beginning of the film Gladiator, when they're about to do that battle out there in the woods with the against the Nordic guys. The Saxons or something. I don't know what they were, Vikings or Saxons, something. But I just really like this. I mean, comics use a lot of the same kind of lexicon as far as storytelling, moving the camera, especially now more than back in the day. So a lot of these kind of panels, you could see like, okay, yeah, I could see a comic being shot in this way, created in this way. And if you look, his storyboards are really detailed. I mean, a lot of texture. He's like putting texture down here. It's like fully rendered stuff. It's not, stick figures or really, loose stuff. It's pretty tight. I mean, it's pretty much a full-on comic. I mean, he's doing some tone watercolors on there to give it depth. So he's they're quite developed. It'd be fun to see these actually even in a bigger way. Now this looks like Mobius here, right? The dress and stuff. Here we go. Sorry, I think I just knocked the microphone. Here's another sequence. It was kind of fun too. We see some sequences that are not in the film. The zebra sequence is not in the film, but zebra runs through these two guys with chained arms, and their arms rip out. It's just like pretty freaking crazy. And the tigers come. We do see the tiger scene that is in the film. I think one of the things about being a storyboard artists, comic artists, these kind of people, this kind of profession, you really have to, in a way, be able to draw anything. You got to be able to draw a tiger, a coliseum, people in armor, period stuff. I mean, you have to, and be creative in that world, right? And create something kind of new. So not only are you doing a lot of research for the specific project, but you also have to be able to make it fresh. Love the colors. Really love the colors here. I like this too. This is fun. I like the pre-visual stuff. I do like kind of like pre-production drawings when Peter Jackson was doing the Lord of the Rings movies. He had Alan Lee and then John Howe, maybe it's John Howe. And those guys, just to see them do all their sketches and drawings, visualizing, doing all these cool, like, drawings for the film seems so cool. Like, to me, that work before they do the photography, just all the drawing and designing is super cool. Like, I like that a lot. And these are some nice ink drawings too here, speaking of that, and it's really beautiful stuff. I like this. That's cool. Oh, Emma from Avengers, right? This is nice. I like this, like, this effect. I like this a lot. Kind of an artsy look at stuff. And this is kind of like a Mobius, like Blueberry, right? This looks just like Blueberry. Same style. El Topo, which is a Alejandro Jodorowsky story. I think he made some graphic novels. And this again is got that really fun line work that you would see maybe in a European comic. Which makes sense. Being from France, you can see influences, perhaps. Maybe I'm projecting them. I don't know. I see it, but maybe not. Oh, these are interesting. A selection. What is this now? These are like his favorite films. What is this? Hang on. This is one of my heroes. My selection is not meant to reflect anything more than my own preferences, but since people love to have bucket lists, here a quick sampler of my favorites. Here's his favorites. Let's spend a few minutes on this. It's kind of interesting. Some of the big ones. So, Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, Lady from Shanghai, Magnificent Ambersons. I don't know any of those. John Ford's Quiet Man, The Searchers, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I just saw this movie, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, and it was good. It's not as good as everyone was saying, but maybe because I was expecting more action. I like The Searchers more, but the story at the end of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is very good. I admit that. Kurosawa's High and Low, agreed. Dursa Uzala, I do not know that film, so there you go. John Huston's Treasure of Sierra Madre, that's good. The Dead, not seen that. Frankenheimer's Manchurian Candidate, I don't know if I saw that. The Train and Grand Prix, I haven't seen that. So there's good stuff here that I need to see. Hitchcock's I Confess, I have not seen that. Dial for Murder, yes. Rear Window, yes. Vertigo, yes. North by Northwest, yes. Family Plot, never seen it. David Lean's Blithe Spirit, don't know it. Brief Encounter, The Bridge on the River Kwai, Dr. Ziak. My gosh. I'm going to put a little postcard here. I need to see these movies. There's like tons of movies here that I haven't seen. What the freak, right? Okay, I'm going to put this here. I gotta go through these movies. Polanski's The Fearless Vampire Killers. I have not seen it. Rosemary's Baby, yes. The Tenant, yes. Chinatown, yes. The Pianist, yes. Spielberg, Sugarland Express, and Jaws. I don't think I've seen Sugarland Express. Oh, Lord. I feel like a freaking dork. Kubrick's The Killing, yes. Lolita, yes. 2001, yes. Clockwork Orange, yes. Barry Lyndon, yes. Got those. Sidney Pollack's Castle Keep, never seen it. 3 Days of the Condor, never seen it. Damn. Scorsese, Taxi Driver, yes. New York, New York, yes. Goodfellas, yes. Irishman, yes. Although I didn't care for it as much. Coppola's Conversation, never seen The Conversation. Apocalypse Now, yes. Freakin's French Connection, Exorcist Sorcerer. I've never seen Sorcerer. I've been trying to find it. It's hard to find. So yeah, I've got a big ass bunch of movies that I need to see. So put that in my pipe. Okay. Yeah, that makes me feel like. Now, hang on here. What's this? Below is a continuation of my list. Okay. With more contemporary filmmakers whom I believe to be advancing film language. Ridley Scott, Duelist, Alien, Blade Runner, Matchstick Men. Yeah. David Lynch, Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, Twin Peaks. Yep, seen all those. Andrei Konchalovsky's Runaway Train, don't know it. Tony Scott's Beat the Devil, Man on Fire, yes. Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, Once Upon a Time, Hollywood, yes, okay. Oh, there's more. Miyazaki's Neighbor Totoro, yes. Spirit Away, yes. David Fincher, The Game, Fight Club, Social Network, yes. All agreed. Cortez Buried, don't know Buried. Cuarón's Gravity, agreed. Coen Brothers, Grit, To Grit. Inside Llewyn Davis, don't know it. Ballad of Buster Scruggs, yep. George Miller's Mad Max, yep. Okay, so there's movies I need to freaking see quarterly. And then he goes into this kind of like really kind of animation kind of look, right? Yeah, the guy can freaking draw. Can we just agree? The man can draw. The man knows how to make an image good. And it just I look at this stuff and I both. I feel like I wish I would have saw this when I was 20. So there's that feeling of like I'm like 30 years too late of understanding this. That's element 1. And element 2 is I feel like is this oil paint? I'm smelling oil paint. I feel inspired and I feel like dejected sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, the abilities is just freaking through the roof. And then there's times I'm like, okay, this is awesome. And so, you know, sometimes I get overwhelmed by it. This is really cool. Look at that. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Digitally colored it. Yeah. A lot of the coloring, he's digitally coloring. Just is so much easier. You do it on pencil. You scan it in. Then you can play with the coloring. You don't have to worry about like the ink, bleeding through the right ink. You don't have to worry about all that kind of stuff. There's some comics I digital Boaz on my Patreon. You can see I digital color that, and there's some advantages to that. It's not as cool as the watercolor, but just for efficiency, this is really nice. This is really, really nice. Just the positioning of this is really good. Yeah, it's really good. It's cool. I like this stylized kind of a fisheye lens, like a 10mm lens, something like that. This is kind of interesting. Colors are nice on that. Composition. What's good composition? Tidying up so your audience won't have to. Simply put, a good composition doesn't make the brain struggle in order to decipher the contents of an image. There you go. I talk about that a lot, right? Distilling down to something simple, easily identifiable to communicate, right? It's about communicating an idea. And so you do that with as few lines as possible. You do that with, you make it to where it's easy to understand. what's happening, what you're trying to say. These are great positions too. The camera, very kind of Akira kind of feel to it. I think he's going for that for sure. And then he can draw techie stuff, all the techie stuff that is cool. Wow, this is really neat too. All this stuff. This is a whole nother skill set of like drawing machinery and things like that, and using pastels and crayons and stuff. Contag is what I was thinking. This is cool. These are nice. I like that. It's interesting. These are all colored, right? They have like full color storyboards. You don't see that too much, but this could have been for his own like personal project. I like it. Definitely adds another level of dimension to it. This is a documentary project he worked on. He talks a little bit about filmmaking, how to edit and organize this. And this was kind of a fun little like element of his work that he did. So again, as I was mentioning, being a filmmaker, making your own films really helps inform your work. For sure. It's kind of cute drawing. This is really cool. I like this too. That's cool. Designed for Tim Burton. I guess Tim Burton was going to do a Superman story. I think I remember. Yeah, that sounds right, right? Tim Burton was going to do Superman, I guess. Yeah, Brainiac. That would be freaking badass. That would be a lot of fun. Look at that. These are really cool designs. Ooh, this is fun. Look at all that fun texture on here. Planet of the Apes? Oh. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, perhaps? Yeah, it must be. These are cool designs, too. I like this. The different stages of production. Wild enthusiasm, confusion, panic, the search for the guilty, the persecution of the innocent, the rewarding of the incompetent. If that's not awesome, I don't know what is. I love it. I love it. And they got some comics. This is Mobius. Sometimes for some movies, the storyboard artists will actually work into production and they will be there on set and they will do some stuff while photography is going on. I don't know how rare that is. I'm assuming it's kind of rare, but sometimes it does. This is Black Hawk Down, and I worked on that. And this is some beautiful work here too. Beautiful stuff. Black Hawk Down. I like that. These are fun too. This was Eyes Wide Shut. He worked with Stanley Kubrick on Eyes Wide Shut. And these are some ideas he had before it went into that kind of Venetian look. They had this idea of maybe like an S&M kind of modern flavor, and then they left this to go for kind of the Venetian kind of flavor. But they had these different ideas of what the orgy scene would be like. These are really cool too. I like these like zombie Pope and strange characters that are kind of spooky, to say the least. Yeah, it's cool. And that's it. That's the end of the show here. That's really pretty. Fifth Element. Okay. That's really cool too. I want to thank you for watching. This was kind of cool. I dig his work. I dig sharing it with you. It's definitely $60 worth doing. It might be fun to like take some of these images and like redraw them and do some master study type stuff. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Check out all my other videos. Subscribe. My website, andresalazarart.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.